Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla, Gibran Hernandez. We are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing right alongside with us here in Houston, Texas. Don't forget that we're on every Tuesday and Thursday, 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. We want to make sure that we hang out, talk to you while we're at it, so don't forget to drop your comments down below. Comments, questions, concerns, trolling, anything. We love to make fun of you, so drop them below while you can. And make sure that you
like
share
the trolling.
Yeah. And make sure that you share with anyone out there who is also in the real estate business. This show is really made for those people who are investing, who are realtors, who are lenders, who are out there doing it and just making it happen every day. Speaking of, how about this Memorial Day weekend? How amazing was this weekend?
It was a good weekend, man, but it wasn't a good weekend if you're a fan of the Houston Rockets.
That's true.
The Houston Rockets were just the biggest letdown the entire weekend. I mean, starting on Saturday, Game 6, had a chance to shut them out there in Golden State.
Yep.
Came out first half, boom, boom, just swinging. Looked like we were going to win. Got annihilated by like 30 points.
Yeah,
that was bad.
That was a painful game to watch.
And it looked like they were like, you know what, we're going to rest. We're going to rest because we're going to go back and win it in Houston. And they came out, same thing, guns blaring. Looked like they were about to win. Second half comes around, boom, down by 20 out of nowhere.
So I was told that if you lit one of those Rockets candles, that we would win.
Oh, that's why we lost.
So,
but you don't even like the
brujeria.
I lit one. I was told that would work. I lit one, and we went to the store. There was a bunch of them.
Did your grandma tell you that?
Yeah. You know, they were like, you got to light one. You got to light one of those. So we did. We put one up. You know, we put one right next to our TV, and we were like, this is going to guarantee a win for the Rockets.
Legit what he's saying.
I think one of our agents, Linda, posted the photo of them. I was like, wow.
Yeah, we actually did light one. It was pretty fun, but it backfired on us. So next time, no more Rockets candles. I think that's what did it.
And you know, the real question is, will there be a next time for the Rockets? Are we going to keep this team together? We're going to blow it up? What's going to happen here? This is 2 years in a row now going against Golden State, and we just can't seem to get it done. And a lot of people say, well, if Chris Paul had been playing, we'd make it through. But they just did, man. We missed like 30.
Yeah.
We were 7 of 44 from 3-point range.
Yeah, it was almost 30
You can't
shots.
blame Chris Paul not being there for missing 37 3-pointers.
Got to blame that missing shot game.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of it was on Harden too, which he's one of the leaders, but he's
year
like halfway
playoffs.
there. He's either there or he's not. He's never like consistent really.
Linda says that she didn't buy her Houston Rockets candle, and you know what, Linda? Then you're the problem.
Thanks a lot, Linda.
You're the reason why we are not going
your Rockets candle
to the finals, which we deserved if you had bought your candle.
Everyone knows that.
Everybody knows that. But, okay, so that happened this weekend. It was craziness.
Look, yes, fine. We lost the game. But besides that, it was a really, really great weekend.
It really was.
Hang out. It was a great weekend to spend some time with the family. It was a great weekend to really just take it easy. You know, a lot of real estate agents try doing open houses during these weekends. And I don't know about you guys, but we've been there and done that, and we know that they don't work. So rather than going out and spending,
unless you're throwing like a big pool party at that open house.
No, even then. And you know what's nuts is, so we just moved into another house, and we moved into a corner lot. And
Alan's becoming a professional mover, by the way.
Yeah.
He's learning how to be a nomad. He's like, just pack it up and go. Pack it up and go.
I'm still about 50%.
How do you do that with a hoard?
Right, well, you pack up all your hoard. Your hoard stays packed.
The hoard never unleashes. You just add to it.
In my head, I imagine like you duct taping your hoard together
into one big giant hoard.
Yeah, one big giant duct tape hoard.
And it goes into like one big giant box truck, and then you just move it to the next place. So my house goes on the market tomorrow. My house that I just moved out of.
Yeah.
And we moved into this new house. And the thing that I like about the new house is that it's in a corner lot and it has a pool. But all of my neighbors, this is the best part about it, all of my neighbors make a whole lot of noise. Like, that's their thing. On holidays like this, they all like turn up their speakers. And I feel like, I'm in a third world country sometimes, but it works. it works for me because we make a lot of noise. You know, we have
Alan doesn't
pool.
realize he is a third world country. Like his nice American neighbors before would be like, "Gosh, I hated that we live next to a third world country."
But just to make a point, my neighbor next door is a doctor, and that's the only one that I'm worried about. 2 doors down, there was a guy with a mariachi band this weekend, and we could hear him singing and whatnot. Yeah, so you know, it's just one of those areas where it's very eclectic. There's a whole lot of different ethnicities and a whole lot of different types of people and different income ranges too. So you get a little bit of all the fun in between. So
all the fun.
It's a great weekend to just hang out and veg out and spend time with your friends and family and watch the Rockets. Yes, fine, they didn't lose. I got that.
They didn't win. They did lose.
They didn't win. I got that picture with Harden and his beard was turned into an L. And I sent it over to the family because I thought it was hilarious. And some people laughed at it and some people were like, "Oh, it's too soon." But you know, here's the thing: it wasn't just about the sports; it was about us hanging out.
Yeah, it was a great weekend
and having a great time.
Loved it.
Yeah. So anyway, by the way, I want to make a quick PSA. I know we're getting close on our
public
time
service
here.
announcement. Now that everyone is listening,
now that everyone has heard all of the ranting, I want to make a quick PSA because we just had the opportunity to save a couple of puppies from a car where they were left in this heat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but where we're at, it's probably close to 90, 95
And I think
degrees.
the heat index is about 105.
Yeah, it's hot out there.
Yeah, it's really hot.
If you leave your dogs in the car, even with the window crack, which is what this lady did.
The lady said window cracked, food, water bowl. The dogs were panting and
they couldn't walk anymore.
They couldn't even walk anymore.
Their legs were so weak from the dehydration. We opened the car because I put my arm in and my arm started sweating. Yeah. And I was like, "Whoa, it is hot in there."
Imagine inside of a car, even with the windows covered up, it gets hot.
Yeah.
Of course.
This one didn't have the windows covered up. You know, a small 5-pound dog, 10-pound dog like this, you're talking about 30, 45 minutes before they're pretty much dead.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
if you're lucky,
please remember that, you guys, and big ups to our agent Adriana for like catching this,
found them,
calling the police.
Yeah, thank you, Adriana. Great job.
The only thing I regret is that we didn't break this lady's window. I seriously am pissed off that I didn't get a chance to go in there and really give it a good whack. Anyway, we got to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to get into some amazing real estate topics. We have a great show planned out. As always, stay tuned.
Alan's favorite game.
You're on the Realty Ruckus.
Whack a window.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where you chat with us live during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. Now, today I want to talk about a little bit blockchain. And it's something that we brought up on a show a lot before, and people always think that we're talking about cryptocurrency, so I label it as cryptocurrency. But for those people who don't know, crypto and blockchain aren't the same thing. They're not. They're interrelated in the way that the technology works, but they're not the same.
They're different things.
Oh yeah, they're completely different. Now you have things that act like a currency, like Deedcoin, which by the way is failing. Looked it up the other day. It's not doing too great. It's it's cold. If it was a cold to hot meter, it would definitely be on the cold meter. Yeah, I guess agents, they just don't want to trade, thousands of dollars in commissions for Deedcoins.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I guess agents are smarter than they thought. They were like,
not that one agent that actually did that.
The one agent did do
it.
Even
made it into Inman News for that, because they were like, "Wow, you're really stupid. Here's a news article about you."
You're right. They made it into Inman for making such a bad decision. That's not good. You got to rethink your life choices if you make it to Inman for the bad decisions you make.
All right. So what's going on with blockchain? And this is blockchain is the actual technology behind cryptocurrency. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. So the way that blockchain works is basically the best format to explain it is, let's say that the three of us, we each own a computer.
Yeah.
And we decide that our information, we don't want to store it on a cloud network somewhere on a Dropbox or anything. We want to intershare that information so that it can all be recorded. We can all keep a good track on it. We all can audit it at any time. And there's no cost actually to run it, because we're co-hosting it across the three of us, right?
Yeah.
That's basically the way the blockchain is.
So all my information is also on y'all's computer and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, that doesn't mean that we can see every little bit of data, but it means that all the data and the history of that data is stored amongst everybody.
Right.
Yeah, and so it makes it to where it's decentralized. There's no central server. There's no central anything.
Which is kind of like how the cloud, quote unquote, works. And
generally, no. The cloud is centralized.
Right.
The cloud.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The cloud is one giant computer or one giant room full of computers somewhere, and that's where all the information goes. And
correct. Yeah. So when you go to Dropbox, for example, they own the servers that you put your information on. Yeah. If Dropbox were to say go out of business next year, all your information would go with Dropbox because it's centralized. Dropbox owns your data. They own the servers that your data sits on, not necessarily your data.
And so with blockchain, it becomes decentralized. Now it's shared amongst hundreds or thousands of computers.
Absolutely, yeah.
And therefore, it's less risk.
Yeah, it's less risk. There's less management. Yeah. There's less opportunity for corruption. Yeah. Because you have
basically tamper-proof.
It's tamper-proof, and it keeps an audit trail of every tiny little thing that's happened. Which is why, to me, it's never made sense when drug dealers are like, "Oh, this anonymous currency," because I'm like, wait, you know, all your transactions are stored, or I can publicly, if I find out your wallet address, your special code for your wallet, I can see every transaction that you've done. I don't know what they were for, but I can see $50 out, $20 in, $100 out, $20 in, I can see all that information publicly.
So you mean when I send David money through Venmo for shaving my back hair, that's recorded somewhere?
That is
and
recorded.
Public information?
It's not public. That is centralized. Venmo
How you can put that out there, man.
I'm like, wow, we're learning so much about both of you all right now.
I thought we had a private thing going
sorry,
on
bro.
with the back.
Sorry.
With the back
I mean, I
shaving.
figured it's public anyway. Might as well let everybody know. All right. So what does all of this have to do with real estate? Because you guys are talking.
Well, there's a couple of platforms out there that are actually trying to disintermediate the real estate transaction, which means they're trying to get rid of the real estate agent. So there's Proppy and Atlant Worldwide, and basically what they're doing is setting up kind of like an MLS based on the blockchain technology, where a seller will sell directly to a buyer, and all information concerning that property as well as the actual financial transactions will be performed via the blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay. So now there's a technology that is somehow going to put buyer and seller together.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a couple different pieces to this, because you can have a centralized technology that puts buyer and seller together.
Yeah.
So putting buyer and seller together is one piece of the equation. Putting it on a blockchain is another piece of the equation.
Okay.
And so there's really two things going. So the first discussion I want to have is the viability of actually putting sellers directly with buyers no middleman. What could go wrong? I mean, I'm asking that as a serious question. What could actually go wrong by putting buyers directly with sellers and no middleman there to intermediate the transaction? That's what he means by disintermediate the transaction.
Wow. So it reminds me of a time that I closed a transaction. This was years ago.
Yeah.
At the most horrible title company in the world. I won't say their name. But they were the worst.
Oh, I was waiting for the name. I thought you were going to say, I won't say the name,
I
but...
I won't say name. But it probably has American or something, and something like that in it. Anyway, worst title company in the world. We go to the closing, and they're like, all right, we're ready to close this transaction.
Yeah.
And all the parties have been set in one room. And I got that real bad feeling, you know that gut feeling you get when you're in like some real trouble.
Yeah,
you know.
Why that's one thing I don't understand. Why in the world would a title company think it's a good idea to put buyer and seller in the same room?
I have no clue till this day. It never made sense to me. But it was already done, and I walked in and greeted everyone, and I sat down, and it was me, my clients, the other agent, and their clients, and we started signing away, and it was like 5 minutes in, and someone had a quick question about something that was going to transfer with the house or not, and the sellers disagreed, and I kid you not, that deal right there was salvaged because I ended up paying for the mistake myself, because otherwise both people were going to walk away because of the principle of the matter. And it was a matter of like $300 that were at play.
Gotcha.
They just got into it with each other.
So the emotions got into the mix.
Emotions were so heavy in that room that they couldn't see past $300. And I had to, at that point, just make an executive decision and be like, that's it, I'm paying for it. That's it. Let's just get past it.
Let's cut this conversation. I'm going to pay for it. Let's get through it.
And because of that, it closed. But I don't think if I would have been there to make that executive decision, I don't think that transaction would have closed, because they kept saying it's just the principle of the matter.
Yeah.
And once you start hearing that, it's not about money anymore.
No.
And so
it's about pride.
So
There's it's no longer a logic-based decision.
It's not logic-based. There's so many emotions in a transaction because it's such a large transaction. There's so many items at play, and that's what people don't realize. These technologies don't take into account the fact that when a seller sells, there's usually a financial need or requirement behind it. Nobody necessarily just sells because they sell. I mean, very few investors really plan the time when they're going to buy and sell. But most homeowners, man, there's something happening in their life.
Yeah, there's something going on.
That's very true.
And so they're sitting in front of a person who's buying something, and it could be the smallest thing, and it could just throw everything off. So tell me, how is that gonna come into play with technology? Where does technology fix that?
Well, it's so funny, man, because there is no way to know, and there's no way to know how technology can fix it even, because this takes me back to a lot of transactions. People don't realize the value of the agent isn't before you submit an offer. The value of the agent even isn't at the time of submitting the offer. The value of the agent is making sure that transaction actually gets to closing.
Yep.
And there's a lot of steps in between that home buyers may not even be aware of. So I think even if you were to give a buyer a checklist and say, buyer, here's your checklist. Make sure you get an inspection. Make sure you get a termite thing. I feel like even if an inspector handed a buyer an inspection and said, all right, here's everything wrong with the house, go back to your seller and do something, I don't think a buyer would even know what to do with that inspection.
Exactly.
That's a perfect example. It's so there's usually these key breaking points in most transactions, right? And one of them is the upfront negotiation. You know, that you either make it or break it in the way that you negotiate.
Upfront,
right? And then you get into inspections. All right, fine. I have never seen a nice inspection. I mean, they're just not made that way.
And people tell me, if you want a perfect inspection, then buy a new construction. No,
not even.
New construction comes back with a bunch of little things too. Why? Because an inspector's job is to find things.
All right, so here's an example. Okay, fine. There's a seller and a buyer sitting on the same table per se. And they received the inspection, and this is a 1960s, 1970s home that's been remodeled.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm bringing that up because I see that every day.
Yeah.
and the inspection report is, kid you not, 50 to 100 pages.
Yeah,
And
sure.
That happens.
45 is probably a good average, but it can go upwards massive.
And if, let's say it's 50 pages long, 45 of those pages are marked as deficient or some sort of deficiency in place.
Yeah, they look at it like deficient.
Yeah,
What?
deficient. You just see deficiency down every single item. And then you start reading the fine print, and you know, we deal with so much real estate that we look at it and we're like, that's no big deal.
No big deal.
That's $100 fix here, $200 fix there. And you know, it might add up to a little bit here and there, but it's no big deal.
And let me give an example. This is something that comes up on inspection reports all the time. It freaks buyers out, and sellers don't know what to do about it because it can be really expensive. Something to change in the codes back in 2012 was something called arc fault breakers. Anybody who's a real estate agent has seen that on their inspection report. Home does not have arc fault breakers because unless it was built after 2016, it's not going to have arc fault breakers in Houston. That's when they started requiring them. So you go and you look and you're like, okay, arc fault breakers, and then you read the little warning and it's like, arc fault breakers help to prevent electricity fires from an overload in electrical circuits. And people were like, oh my God, that prevents fires.
I need that.
If I don't have that, my house is going to burn.
Yeah.
And then people freak out over the smallest thing. Now, imagine, as far as I know, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, the inspector doesn't have the right or the ability to consult the client on what repairs they should ask for.
No.
All they can do is say, is it deficient or is it not deficient? Is it working or not working? They can't be like, well, I think you should ask for this, this, and this because these are the biggest ones. No. They're not allowed to do that, right?
But sometimes inspectors do help put the client at ease just with the demeanor and the way they talk.
Yes. The good ones.
Yeah,
yes.
But now you're counting. You're
well,
saying,
that's exactly why people are so important, because there's even blockchain platforms that are trying to disintermediate the contractor and the inspector portion of that as well.
Wow, okay.
I saw you looking it up, that YINC.
Yeah, I did.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. But you know, a good inspector is going to help ease your client there, and they need to be present.
A good inspector will call the client and say, hey, yes, I have to put this because it's part of the standard way of me providing this information. This is what TREC requires me to report, and this is the verbiage that I'm required to put on there.
Exactly.
However, the house has been built this way since 1964. It's never had a fire, probably never going to have a fire. It's just something that I have to put in there.
Exactly.
And you may want to do something about it later down the road when you have some additional funds.
Yeah.
You know, and then the client's like, all right, cool, I'm good to continue.
Exactly.
You know, what else? I mean, if you think about it, what else can happen? Well, the next portion is getting the appraisal. All right. Well, what happens? I mean, we just had this. The house is listed for $750. We negotiated for $727, which we thought it was a great deal. The comps show it to be there. We know we're certain that we thought it was worth about $740. So we're our client. There, you know, everyone's happy. Guess what the appraisal comes back at? $705.
Yeah, and that happens.
It happens all the time.
And I think if it was direct buyer to seller, that'd be the end of the transaction. I'm not paying over that price for the house. It's not worth that.
Think about how much they would be yelling each other. It's just the principle of the matter, you know. Like, there's a lot of principle of the matter right there. You know? That's 20 grand worth of principle of the matter. Anyway, we have to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're on Realty Ruckus.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop.
They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555, or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com. Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is the place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember, you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, today we're talking a little bit about one of our favorite topics, a little bit about blockchain, cryptocurrency. Yeah. Can you do direct consumer to consumer? I just don't think emotionally consumers can handle that. Nope. I mean, hell, consumers can hardly handle buying a car person to person. It's still one of those things. You still go to dealerships because you can't even trust your neighbor to buy a car.
That's true.
But you want to buy a house from them, which is like 10 times more expensive. Yep. I just don't see it happening. Not yet. Yep. Maybe down the road, 20 years, 30 years. But now in this moment, that's not the solution. Now, here's one thing, though. Realty, which is the parent company of like massive amounts of brokerages. Mm-hmm. I can't even list.
Most notably, Century 21 and Coldwell Banker.
There you go. Those are the big dogs, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar organization that's worldwide. Their funding has now gone from buying brokerages, which was used to be how they made their money. Let me buy out all these little brokerages.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're now investing heavily in technology. I think they're starting to feel like the ship's leaving, and we're not sailing with the ship. It's time to switch course. Mm-hmm. What do you guys have to say about that?
Well, I think we got to wait to see. Is it going to be investments in technology that are looking to enhance the agent role, or are they also kind of, playing both feet there and also investing in the possible disintermediation of the transaction?
I think they're hedging their bets. I mean, I'm thinking of it in terms of an investor really protecting their money. Yeah. And they're seeing that they
did have a new CEO come in.
Yeah, from Capital One.
And so that new CEO must be saying, we got to throw some money at technology too. Yep. We can't just keep doing what we've been doing. Yep. We got to do something else. But is he pointing to that being the future, or is he just being safe?
I think he's being safe, because if a technology comes in that was able to achieve all these things, now we're not saying it will, we're not saying it will happen anytime soon, but let's just say somebody is genius enough to come up with a way to actually make all of this work, and you can actually put buyer and seller together, and there's no issues in between, right? Because somehow the technology solves all of it. Yeah. Then if you own this many brokerages, you may want to have a little piece of that technology.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You may want to have at least your foot in the door on that before you completely have to shut down your entire income model. Now, here's the other thing. Is it likely going to happen? Probably not. But what I do see happening is technology will continue to enhance the business of the professional. Until it can potentially replace it all, right now the best thing we can see is that it's gonna bring tools and resources to us. Now at that point, it's our job to figure out how to actually put it to work, how to actually make it work for us, not the other way around. Yeah. And then we have people out there who are really worried about that and being shy and staying away from it. But that's the wrong thing to do. Like, you need to find a way to embrace this stuff. You need to find a way to really bring in the reminds of the world who are now getting ready to change the way that we operate and do things and approach people who may potentially be looking to sell, and really use it to our advantage. And if you don't, you get left behind. And that's what I think can happen with the agent right now, is the agent may either get left behind, or technology will exceed so far that the real need for a kind of bad agent or a mediocre agent may not be there.
We're okay with that.
You're going to need to be the bomb.
Yeah. Does the agent go by the wayside of the travel agent?
Oh, well, think about what happened with the travel agent. Why
There's still some out there.
Why was it that the travel agent...
The really, really
The
good
reason
ones.
that I say that is because the travel agent used to be kind of like the job that you could just get as a side gig.
Yeah.
Everyone that you knew was a travel agent,
Yeah.
and there was connections that you could go into, and you'd sign up for these programs, and you'd have access to the software at the airports and access to the software for hotels, and so you had a little up on everybody. And then internet came out, and then all of a sudden all those people fell off. But there are still good travel agents out there that make a lot of money being travel agents, but they focused on their niche.
Only the best.
Yeah.
Only the best still exists.
Yeah.
And there's very far and few between. And you only contact them when you're booking something big.
When you're booking an experience. They're not just booking your flight and your hotel. They're really creating an experience for you and creating value for your family. And so, there are still a few good ones. I hope real estate goes that way.
I think
I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that you keep the best of the best and you clip everyone else.
Yeah. And it's not, like you said, it's not a bad thing. I think it's necessary. We have way too many part-time wannabe agents, people that are not taking this seriously enough. They dilute what everyone else is doing. When you have someone really taking it seriously and someone that's not, the perception of the public is that there's no need for that person.
Absolutely.
So we got to change that. Anyway, we're running out of time, so we got to talk about some of the amazing events that we have coming up. Make sure that you guys are dropping these on your calendars. These are the best of the best here in Houston. You can find them at Houston Real Estate Events as well. What do we have?
So first off, one of our actual events, the Summit coming up for June, that's going to be on June 4th, Monday. So we always like to invite agents who are looking to see what the Team WPR culture is like, experience what our meetings are like, to come out to the Summit. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jabron, we're still hosting at a Valero Title this time.
Valero Title on Monday.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're going to get started right at 9 a.m.
Yeah, doors open at 8:30.
8:30, yes.
Perfect. Doors open at 8:30. We'll get started at 9 a.m. with a great motivational speech. We'll have breakfast and lunch on hand. Training. So please, if you would like, this is an invite-only event. If you would like to be invited, please reach out to me, David, at teamwpr.com, and I'll get you more information and an invite for you to come out and check out our culture and that experience. Now, also, right after, on June 5th, we have our big real estate rally, which is the biggest real estate happy hour in town, with 400 and more real estate professionals coming out to St. Arnold's Brewing Company. And it's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. We can expect a lot of great networking, free beer, free food. And we have the VIP tickets available now as well. So priority food, priority beer service, and you get to mix and mingle, rub elbows with the industry's top performers and leaders.
Absolutely. All right, so we have the Summit. We have the Real Estate Rally next week. What else do we have?
And then later on in June, advanced house flipping for realtors. That's going to be Tuesday, June 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now we're running...
It's the 12th, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, June 12th. Yes, you guys have corrected me several times on that.
It's the 12th, you guys.
David wants it to be.
I don't know why I want it so badly on that date.
We changed it to the 12th. This is all about teaching you guys some of the intricate knowledge that we built over the years on investing in real estate, because that's something we truly believe in. We want to make sure that if you're in real estate, not only do you help people buy and sell, you help them invest, and while you're helping others, you're also doing it yourself.
That's
you should be building a rental portfolio. You should learn what it takes to flip a house. You should learn how to buy property subject to. There's all these other
some Airbnb basics.
Airbnbs. I mean, there's all these other exit strategies, things that we actually put at play and use in our everyday business while still building a business of helping people buy and sell. Yep. So make sure that you get your tickets for that. That's June 12th. 12. All right, guys.
1-2.
That's it for today's show. Thank you again for joining us here at the Realty Ruckus. Don't forget to keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.